Hello everyone, welcome to Jigyasa. I'm Devasmita. So today we are going to learn about the algae and this is the economic importance of the algae. So let's start about the different types of or various uses of algae. In our industrial purpose, it maybe it is used in case of the agricultural field and in medicinal purposes. So algae have the great importance in our daily life. So in this today's topic, we are going to learn about the economic importance of algae. So here is some key points to learn, or you can note down from this slide. I just want to say something about just main gist about the economic importance of the algae. So let's proceed about the topic. First of all, the economic importance means it's have the various importance like the industrial uses, its agricultural uses, medicinal purposes, and agricultural field in our daily life. So it directly or indirectly related to, or directly or indirectly effect on our human health or human beings getting benefited for the human beings and other organism also. So there is the importance of the algae is obviously not as the significant as it should have been. The most conspicuous and the important function of the algae is the conversion of the inorganic matter into the organic substances. What does mean? Because it consists of the chlorophyll, because algae are the most lowest member in our classification. So it carries the chlorophyll pigment, because due to the presence of the chlorophyll pigment, it is green in nature, and it can doing the photosynthesis process also. So here is the other the green plants or the algae transform the carbon dioxide and the water into the living material by the photosynthesis process. So in the previous classes also we have already studied about what is the photosynthesis process, because in the presence of the chlorophyll, there is the sunlight or the presence of the sunlight, water, then it produces it releases the carbon dioxide and the glucose. So this process is known as the photosynthesis process. So it was the invention of the photosynthesis by the some simple algae that made the evolution of the life possible on these plants. Whenever we study about the evolutionary trends, that is the lower to higher members of the plants, then first of all it comes the bacteria, virus. This is the prokaryotes, and the unicellular algae, then it branches or the multicellular algae, then it comes to the algae, fungi, bryo, pterido, and finally gymnosperm and angiosperms. So angiosperms are the most highly diversified or branched classification, or the higher member of the classification. So it is the value of the algae directly as the food, indirectly as the vegetable manure, and the variety of the purposes has been appreciated for the centuries in the oriental countries, and to more limited extent in the western world. So these are the some main directly use, like we take as algae as a food source or food, or indirectly it is mainly used in case of the vegetable manure or various purposes. So as a food, we take as algae as a food. Here we can see that that is the most the important things, that is the cholera. Chlorella is one type of the algae, and it is mainly in case of the use it increase the demand of for the more and the more resources of the food. The first proposal, that the unicellular algae. Chlorella is the unicellular algae, which is a good source of the world population, came from the Hermann Scotier and the Harold Milner. Two scientists or algologists, they named or they introduced the chlorella algae as a food source. and it is study on the chlorella culture in the hope of the spoiling the antibiotic of the medicinal worth. It has the great medicinal importance also, and from the chlorella there is the antibiotic also produces. So it is the variation of the nutrition and the culture technique could result in the reveal the variation of the result in the varying percentage of the lipid, carbohydrates and the proteins in the cells. So when we study about the biochemical or the biochemistry of this composition of lipids, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, all those things, so there is the presence of the the high amount of the lipid content found in case of the chlorella. It may be 85% and carbohydrate like 37% and the proteins of 88.2%. So chlorella culture can be grown in the inorganic medium with the carbon dioxide as their only source of the carbon, because chlorella is the main source and the source of carbon, and whenever we grow or whenever we culture the chlorella or grown in the inorganic medium, and the carbon dioxide as their only source of the carbon. So, among the important environmental factors such as the concentration and the relative proportion of the nutrient salt composition of the contacting gas stream, temperature of the medium and the intensity of the incident light fixed in nitrogen concentration and the nutrient medium profoundly influences in the field and the composition of the cells, while the temperature and the intensity of the illumination effect mainly in the quality of the chlorella product. So these are the main things which whenever we called as this is the good chlorella can be found when there is the the proportion of these things are mainly responsible for the good quality of the chlorella. So controlling the composition of the chlorella within wide limit is the possible by the choice of the growth condition and the either to produce a product high in the proteins or one very rich in the fats. So due to the presence or absence of their condition, whenever we see in the environment one same plant species have different their structure, appearance and their growth rate also, because due to the presence or the availability of the resources in that particular areas. So then these are the chlorella are the good source of vitamins, because we have already know in the previous slide that there is the presence of the vitamins in high percentage. That's why it's taken as the food source or the good food with all the essential amino acid present, and the compares the favorably with the other good plants protein while the its vitamin wealth rank it among the richest plant source with the several vitamins. So when we study about its physiochemical and the biochemical studies, then there is the animal feed. It's used in as the animal feed also. The studies with the human, in case of the human, when we study about the chlorella, then there is the in case of the Japan, they already culture the commercial purposes for a rich source of the vitamins, and they used as the food. Chlorella cultivation might give in the annual yield of the 20 ton of the proteins plus 3 tons of the fat per acre. So it's economically very important for the human beings, because if we cultivate the chlorella, then their annual yield is the 20 tons of the proteins and 3 tons per fat per acre. Then it is 20 tons of the proteins. It produces 20 tons of the proteins and gives the 3 tons of the fat per acre. So fat better is in the comparison to the agricultural production of the protein and the fat per acre per year. So in case of the large scale cultivation of the chlorella, it would depend upon the abundant and the cheap supply of the carbon dioxide, availability of the low cost fixed nitrogen. So why we cultivate the chlorella? Because it is the good source of the vitamins and the rich of the fats. We already know about it, and it is very cheap. It is very cheap supply of the water, while the cheap supply of the carbon dioxide, it releases very less amount of the carbon dioxide, and availability of the low cost fixed nitrogen and the adequate supply of the water. So these are the main things. That's why we cultivate the chlorella as a good source of the proteins and the vitamins and the fats. So then another one is the porphyra. Porphyra, also known as the laver, commonly known as the laver. It is also cultivated in case of the Japan and directly used as the food. So another red algae, like its scientific name is the Chondrus crispus. Chondrus crispus or the Tresmus is largely used in the preparation of the confectionery in the coastal district of the America. So chlorella is mainly the good source of proteins, fats, and vitamins. Second one is the porphyra, then third one is the red algae. Then comes to the Dorvillia and Antarctica. Dorvillia Antarctica, it is the nourishing the dish for the people of the Peru and Chile. In case of the Peru and Chile, there is the Dorvillia Antarctica algae, mainly used for the special dish for the people of the Peru and the Chile. Then Rhodiomeria palmata is the chewed like the tobacco, and this is another algae which is mainly intake as a chewed like the tobacco. And in case of the Iceland, it is largely used for the preparation of the soap. So Rhodiomeria palmata is the mainly used in the preparation of the soap, and like the chew like the tobacco. Then it is also the algae used in case of the fish culture, because when we in our ponds or the lakes, whenever we or the river, we just culture in the fish culture or develop the fish. So there is the source of the food as we give to the fish as the algae or the algal sources. So in case of the sea as well as on the land, the cycle of the life and the death begins with the plants, because we know the plants are the all matlab ki plants are the source of the food, and because we are the consumer, we are not producer, because the plants have the capacity to produce their own preparation of their own food. So animals prey upon the carnivorous plants, and the population of the sea built off from the succession of the predators, and the victim ending up with the largest and the most vicious creature of the all, the shark. So these are the in most important things that the shark are mainly used in case of shark are used algae as the good source of their food, or it means small fishes, or they can eat the large fishes also. So algae play an important role in the building of the repairing of the body substances. So cod liver oils, have you know about the cod liver oil? It is obtained from the fish. It is obtained from the fish. Cod liver oil, or the oil of the other fishes containing the vitamin A and the D. These are the four sources of the vitamin A and the D, and it originates through the synthesis by the diatoms. Algae not only act as the link in the food chain of the marine or the freshwater fishes, but also help in the maintaining the adequate level of the oxygen in case of the animals. So in case of the animals or the terrestrial cases, algae is the maintain the oxygen level in our earth or the environment. So The fish culture is entirely based upon the algae, because whenever we grow or whenever we culture any fish, then the growth and development, it fully depend upon the algae, because algae is the good source of the food of the fishes. So then comes to the fodder. Fodder algae used as a fodder because the ships in the Norway and sometimes the fed exclusively on seaweeds. Horses in the island prefer the sugar rake. This is sugar rake. Its scientific name is the Laminaria saccharina, and Rhodiomeria. These two algae are mainly used as the cow feed on the Pelvetia carnaliculata. Pelvetia carnaliculata, this is used as the cow feed. Then comes to the medicine. We know that the various types of antibiotics are obtained from the various resources. Some are obtained from the algae, fungi, vibrio, pterido, even can the sperms, and some are the bacterial and the viruses. Some of the not viruses. Some of the obtained from the bacteria. So these are from the chlorella. Chlorella is obtained from the chlorella. So we have already studied about the chlorella. It is a good source of the vitamin A and a protein and fats, highly vitamin content or highly protein contents. That's why it obtained from the chlorella. Chlorella is the antibiotic. It's obtained from the chlorella. Then comes to effective in the gram positive and the gram negative bacteria. It is mainly effective for the effective against both gram positive and the gram negative bacteria. And seaweeds eater are the immune to the high fever. So hay fever. So these are some medicines, or these are some diseases used for the chlorella antibiotic is used mainly for these things. Then kurtosis is discovered of the iodine in the ash of the brown algae. So kurtosis is obtained from the iodine in the ash of the brown algae in 1811, and encouraged the production of the iodine from the laminaria. So it is obtained from the laminaria, and it's contained in the form of the iodine. It means it is sodium and the potassium iodides in the form of iodine, or the different form of iodine like the sodium iodide and the potassium iodide. So approximately nowadays approximately 75% of the world's requirement of the iodine is produced from the chalk saltpeter, and which contain the 0.1% of the iodine. So in nowadays 0.1 percentage of iodine can be obtained from this from this algae or from this laminarin. So then comes to the sea water, contains about the 0.007% of the bromine, and in case of the red algae it constitutes 0.03 to 0.2 percentage of the dry weight. So Rhodomania larynx and the Odothalia corymbifera, Odothalia corymbifera is the unusually high content of the bromine. So these two algae are the rich source of the bromine. So there is found 3 to 6% of the dry weight respectively. So brown algae accumulate the bromine to a much smaller extent than the red algae. Then comes to the laminarian, which is obtained from the laminarin. Laminarin, it is found in front of the laminaria in the small quantities of the Escophylum, Ficus, and the Demarestia laminarian is a reserve carbohydrate of the brown algae. So laminarin is a antibiotic which is obtained from the laminaria, and then comes to the it is used mainly for the sulfate used as a blood anticoagulant and the anti lipemic agent. These are mainly used for these purposes. Then comes to the large number of the vitamins have also been reported from the marine algae. So marine algae from it is also reported various types of the vitamins also. Then thiamine, it's a vitamin. Thiamine, then vitamin B12, riboflavin, vitamin B12, folic acid, pantothenic acid, niacin. These are some antibiotics. Vitamin D. These are also obtained from the various sources of the algae. Then comes to the petroleum, algae and the petroleum. It is mainly used in case of the also petroleum, because whenever we now it is a well established fact that the formation of the earth grade petroleum deposit and the accumulation of the teeny oil driplets in the cells of the diatoms and other minute algae. Basically it is used as biofuel, algae as a biofuel, because petroleum it's a the fuel, but it have no stock in our nowadays. It is used as very rapidly or a huge amount of uses in our daily life. So it in near future it is going to be destroyed or it is going to be finished. So in the for the backup of the petroleum, algae used as the biofuel. Then comes to the diatoms. Diatoms, it is diatomaceous earth forms the fossilized diatoms, and it is the high temperature boiler and the insulator constant. This is mainly used for the metal polish and the shoe polish and the toothpaste. And the living diatoms are used in case of the fish culture and the indicator species of the salinity and the hydrogen ion concentration. So diatoms are the indicator of the salinity and hydrogen ion concentration, and it is mainly used for the fish culture. Then agricultural uses is like the use of the seaweeds are manure. These are used as the manure, and these used in the agricultural fields for very ancient times or very early times, and they are applied directly in the form of the compost. So algae used as a compost and manure, and in case of the agricultural field. So liquid seaweed fertilizer have come in the market, and the available evidence incident indicates that they result in the improvements in the yield and the quality of the crop. So these are depend upon the yielding capacity. It increases the yielding capacity and the quality of the crop. Then comes to the fertility of the soil, because if we sown in or if we use in agricultural field, then it obviously increases the fertility rate of the soil, and because it accumulates minerals like the potassium, calcium, magnesium, sulfur, iron, copper, manganese, zinc, arsenic, cobalt, nickel, lead, molybdenum, antimony, boron, bromine, and the iodine. Algae form the excellent fertilizers for the depleted soils. They can supply the minerals, especially trace elements. Terrestrial algae also play an important role in the maintaining the soil fertility, as they bind soluble minerals and the nitrogen compounds in the organic forms. So these algae also play an important role in the aeration of the field by the producing the oxygen during the photosynthesis process. So these are some various types of uses or economic uses, economic importance of the algae. In the next in the next class, we are going to learn about to the industrial uses and some medicinal uses of the algae. So I hope ki you are all of you getting benefited from this session. So please wait in the next session for the um, better improvement or better knowledge. Thank you.